on this Monday morning. A very quiet start to our morning with a few clouds around, especially the farther north you go. These are mostly upper level clouds. Not too bad of a start to our morning. We're in the warm sector between a warm front to our east, a cold front way off to our northwest that'll approach later today. So we'll pick up on a little bit of a southwest wind as the day goes on, maybe a little breezy out there. Let's back this up maybe just a little bit to where the winds are a little stronger right there mid-afternoon. Clouds will thicken up a little bit later today, becoming partly sunny. A lot of upper level clouds out there ahead of this cold front that will make its way into northwest Nebraska this afternoon. Behind that front, the winds will turn westerly and be very strong, but not really a lot of cold air with that front initially. That front will come through tonight, turning our winds more northwesterly. Again, for most of us, the winds will not pick up behind that front, though. They'll still be about 5 to 15 miles per hour overnight. We'll get a little brief clearing. Let's back this up. Behind the front, brief clearing for a time this evening. But then later in the night and into tomorrow morning, cloud cover does start to thicken up once again as a second cold front approaches from the northwest. This front does contain colder air, so while it won't be too bad tomorrow morning, we won't see a huge warm-up on your Tuesday. Plus, we'll see some brisk northerly winds behind that front, so it's just going to make it feel that much colder. Skies filling in with clouds, so becoming mostly cloudy for Tuesday. Then we start talking about snow chances and even colder air Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. Now, as of right now, most models keep the brunt of the snow down to our south. This one is very far south. A few models are a little farther north than this, which I'll show you in just a bit here. But again, this has certainly been, especially over the weekend, it was a big trend southward. Overnight and early this morning, some of the latest models are trending just a little farther north again with this system here, but still the brunt of it will stay well to our south. So let's look at the GFS model, and I'm going to show more regionally so you can see the impacts farther south. This is Tuesday morning, that's tomorrow morning. So most of your Tuesday dry, becoming mostly cloudy, wind strengthening, and then there comes Tuesday night and a Wednesday. So after midnight, we'll back this up here. Here's midnight tonight, Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. Snow filling in, but notice it impacts southern Nebraska, northern Kansas, much higher impacts down in southern Kansas into Oklahoma. But again, there's again Wednesday during the daytime hours. Most of us not seeing a lot of snow, but a little bit in the far south and the southwest. Continuing into Wednesday afternoon and then winding down Wednesday night. That's the GFS model. The European model, very similar actually. And I'll stop it right there. Let's go. That's midnight, Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. And then let's take you to sunrise, Wednesday, right about there. Southern Nebraska, western Nebraska, northern Kansas with the heaviest snows down far down into Kansas. Continuing to Wednesday morning again. The bulk of the heavy snow stay to our south, so we just kind of get a glancing shot of snow with this. We'll have to deal with a lot of cold air, but the good news is without all that snow on the ground, that cold may not last as long or be quite as brutal. That will then clear out again Wednesday night and a Thursday. So here's kind of my early forecast for snowfall totals. This is using the European forecast model, the one I'd probably agree with the most. I would say an inch or less in the Tri-Cities, even lower than that the farther northeast that you go. To the southwest, 1 to 3 inches of snowfall for the Tri-Cities, maybe some higher amounts into the southern panhandle. There's kind of a low-end chance of maybe some higher amounts right in here where we could see, 3-4 inches of snowfall, maybe more out there. But again, for most of us, this is not going to be a major impact. This will be a low-end impact storm system. Minor impacts, but not a significant issue for the most part. Let's take a look at temperatures for today. Before we get to the snow and the cold comes the very mild weather for today. Upper 50s, lower 60s. I think mid 60s are certainly a possibility. 64, 65, not out of the question. We'd have to hit low 70s to get to record highs, so we won't get there for today though. Tonight, not too bad. 20s and lower 30s for overnight lows. Tomorrow, a chillier day, but not too far out from average for this time of the year. High temperatures tomorrow ranging from as cold as the upper 20s to the north to as warm as the low and maybe mid 40s to the southeast. Much colder tomorrow night and a Wednesday morning. Single digits and teens. Highs on Wednesday, teens only. And the winds will be fairly blustery, so it's going to feel much colder than that. And it's going to get even colder than Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Again, very mild today, much chillier tomorrow, and then much colder yet on Wednesday. The bulk of the snow for the Tri-Cities falls Tuesday night, late night into Wednesday, and this will be a very light snow event. It does come with some winds, so that 17 is going to feel much colder. Groundhog's not going to see a shadow here in Nebraska, but maybe we'll see how Pennsylvania turns out in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Wednesday night, very cold air. Wednesday night below zero for many of us. Thursday, Another chilly day, but the sunshine returns. Another very cold night Thursday night into Friday morning, but after that, we're warming back up. 40s, low 40s on Friday. How about well into the 40s, near 50 on Saturday. Sunday, still mid-40s. Lots of sunshine, a little breezy over the weekend. Not as nice as this past weekend, but we could still see some pretty decent weather. And I think with the lack of snow on the ground, that will certainly help things. If we got a big snow out of the system here midweek, we would talk about much colder temperatures sticking around for a while. But because there won't be much snow with this system, more than likely we're going to warm right back up. And in fact, look at the long range here. We could be back in the 50s early next week. So we could be back to the really nice weather that we saw the last couple of days and what we're seeing today. That could be returning very, very soon. Let's take a look at the long range national picture here. I believe this is the GFS model. There's today, very mild weather in place. Here comes that plunge of colder air for the middle of the week, but we're missing out on the brutally cold Arctic air there to the northeast. And then we start to warm it up Friday, and the weekend next week, let all that cold air moves away. And we are warming back up early next week with no major shots of cold air through the middle of next week. All right, I'm going to transition over to the European model here. That takes a few seconds, so just hang with me real quick as I switch it over to the European model here, and it has to load in. And then I'll click Save. There we are. And wait for it to save, and I'm going to go in and open up this graphic. All right, let's look at the European model. Okay, so there's today. Very mild air. Very cold air coming for the middle of the week, but the brutally cold Arctic air staying just off to our northeast. We don't get the brutal air. We've had worse this winter. And then we start to warm things up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and next week even milder air. The Europeans a little more aggressive with the warm air returning early next week and keeping any kind of cold air well to our north. This is as far out as it goes there through Wednesday night, basically. So, yeah, we could be right back into the warm side of things here, and that's a big change over the weekend with the forecast model showing that, hey, that brutal cold air is not going to last a long time. And that's what most of our winter has looked like so far. So, all right, the final thing I'm going to do before I wrap things up, it is rant time. All right, if you follow the Facebook page titled Meteorologists, all in capital letters, unfollow them. Last week, they posted this graphic of temperatures that were going to be 50 or 35 to 50 below zero in Nebraska and Iowa, brutally cold air, the coldest in 100 years, and they hype things up. Obviously, now you can see that's not going to be the case. Yes, we're going to get cold, but we're going to have lows around 0 to 5 below, not 50 below. Okay, so these people do this all the time. Whoever runs this account, this meteorologist account, they post the worst case scenario graphic they can find. The one they posted was an upper level graphic, upper level temperatures, upper level where the jets fly, where the temperature is like 50 below all the time. That's the graphic they posted and said that's what we are going to get here in Nebraska. Of course that's not going to happen. So again, if you post that or if you follow that, unfollow that. If you ever see that on Facebook, don't share it. Don't buy into the hype. It's always false. They might get it right sometimes, but they're hoping that worst case scenario is going to happen so that they can be right. Now they're posting about this record snowfall for parts of the Midwest and things like that. And who says that's going to be for sure too? Yeah, they might get it right from time to time, but they are not basing their forecast on meteorology at all. They're just posting a forecast model and saying that's what's going to happen. And then when they're wrong, they don't get called out for it. Okay? So don't follow them. Don't share their posts. Okay? Do not share their posts. Don't buy into the hype. Listen to a local, it doesn't even have to be me, but listen to a local TV meteorologist. The National Weather Service, a great source for forecasts. Don't buy into the hype. Rant over. All right, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you all again on Tuesday morning. Until then, take care. Enjoy your Monday. It's going to be a beautiful one out there. God bless. Bye.